Welcome back to Bleeding Blue. This is a New York Football Giants history podcast. It's a New York Football Giants history show. And with me, as always, is one of my best friends, Snacks. Today, we are going to be talking about Super Bowl 25, Super Bowl 46. It actually is Super Bowl week in our real lives and in our real world. Snacks, how are you doing? Are you excited to talk two more Super Bowls?
I'm doing well. I cannot complain. A football-free weekend. I thought it would suck, but it was actually very relaxing. And I am very excited to talk about two more Super Bowls. Hopefully soon we could talk about others.
Others meaning in real time now. But then the crazy thing about this podcast is we would have to wait like maybe 5 years for that to pass.
Yeah,
and
that's
then we
true.
can talk about it. So it's tough.
That's a good point. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it 5 more years. So
No, we're not. Definitely not.
That's fine. I had Domino's last night. It's whatever. I really wanted to see a third before it's all said and done for me. But you know, two's not bad. So let's talk about one of them we did see.
I love it. So Super Bowl 46, we're going to jump right into it.
Let's go.
Super Bowl 46, February 5th, 2012. The New York Football Giants defeated the New England Patriots by a score of 21-17 in Lucas Oil Stadium, the house that Peyton built.
Overrated.
Yeah, I was about to say, give us a quick 10-second thoughts on Peyton Manning.
Couldn't win the big game. Couldn't beat Tom Brady like his brother could, and he's overrated. Great regular season quarterback, statistically one of the best ever. Overrated. Hate him.
Sure. Okay. 21-17, New York Football Giants won. Patriots were 3-point favorites. The over-under was 53.5. Eli Manning was your Super Bowl MVP. Snacks, I'm going to hand the reins to you, whether it's feelings, whether it's thoughts, whether it's a game ball you want to give out. What do you want to talk about?
I mean, everything. It's funny how 4 years prior they were 12.5-point dogs, and then only 3. For a team, I may add, was not even close to being as good as the 07 team.
No.
This 2011 Giants team was not good at all. I think I may have it backwards. They had like the 32nd ranked rushing game and like the 30th ranked defense.
Yes, I think it was, especially the pass defense was pretty bad, like 31st ranked pass defense, but definitely the rushing game was last. Like the rushing offense was
abysmal.
bad.
Everything was abysmal, and you had Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs, two very productive running backs. That offensive line was terrible, led by David Boss, Giant legend.
Who was that left guard?
Was it still Snee?
No. Chris Snee was right guard. Yes. Who was that left guard?
It's got to be Booth, no?
Yes, it's and how do we like to categorize Kevin Booth?
The fattest ass in NFL history. Literally, the fattest ass in NFL history.
Clem brings this up, how the gray pants did no one any favors in terms of making the ass look bigger.
For sure. And you could see, you could land an airplane on Kevin Booth's ass. God bless him. God bless him. Seriously. You know, that's a lot of girth down there. But besides men's asses,
which we love to talk about on this show.
Love to talk about. Yeah, absolutely. We're a pro men's ass podcast. But the game itself, just an awesome game. And I thought that game was going to get away from us for a little bit because I think there was a point in time, it was after halftime or leading into halftime. And then after it, Tom Brady completed like 12 passes in a row.
16.
Yeah, even worse. And it's just like, okay, this guy cannot be stopped. They weren't like scoring at will, but they just couldn't be stopped. And I believe it took a Wes Welker dropped pass that he probably catches 9 out of 10 times, even though the ball was a little bit behind him, to give ourselves a chance for Eli to go down and score. And sure enough, I think he did that. Also, shout out to murderer scumbag Aaron Hernandez. He caught a touchdown pass that game.
He did. That duo of Hernandez and Gronk. Now, Gronk was hurt in this game, and that plays a tremendous factor. Tremendous factor in this game, how Gronk was hurt. And they were still trying to feature him, a lot, a decent amount. When you think that maybe maybe you think the role should have flipped because Hernandez was a little bit more healthier, was definitely more athletic. Gronk being hurt, really hurt them. And I'm trying to find this Giselle Brady quote. I love this one meme. You know how it's like A to Z quotes, and they make some quotes that some people have said like dramatic.
Yeah. I also
So
hate Giselle, by the way. Just
I'm
want
trying
get
to
that out there.
find. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna put it on the screen right now. But I want. Yes, here it is. So A to Z quotes, and it's like her dramatic, like it's her picture in the corner. The more you, oh no, damn it, she actually has other quotes that she
She's
says.
got a lot.
Oh my
She's a
god, she
pest.
she talks. Oh, I'm sorry,
A
that was mean.
lot.
That was mean. That was mean.
I know what you mean, but
The quote that she said after the game, that's my husband can't fucking throw and catch the ball.
mhm.
So it turns
Yeah.
out that she is a model, but she also has a lot of other inspirational quotes that people like to grab. But my favorite quote that she ever said was, "My husband can't throw and fucking catch the ball at the same time."
Yeah, well, he can't.
Can't.
So just shut up. Just shut the fuck up.
Ooh. Who gets your game ball?
Okay, so my game ball, Steve Weatherford.
I knew it.
Steve Weatherford gets my game ball. The punter at the time, and I've said on the podcast before, although I know Steve Weatherford watches this weekly and religiously, and even
Sure.
even rewatches and re-listens when he's done watching it. I'm not his biggest fan. I think he's a little bit annoying on social media. Go to hell, Blake Martinez. But Steve Weatherford had a masterful punting game. Every time he punted the ball, I think the Patriots were pinned inside the 10-yard line. The whole game. He was brilliant. And that changes field position. That's game changing. If you have a punter that can consistently have the Patriots pinned, backed up all the way in their own territory by their end zone. Take some pressure off the defense for the 30th ranked defense in the league going up against Tom Brady. I think that's a pretty big thing. So shout out Steve Weatherford. He gets my game ball. Just a little, that's,
Oh, I love it.
You could see us. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it.
You could also see us on the Zoom in there. But yeah, that says, to Nick, all the best. Steve Weatherford, Super Bowl 46. So Stevie gets my game ball.
Yeah, but the directional punting in Super Bowl 46 was a major storyline, and Tom Coughlin talked about it, I think, leading up to the game as well. But having a defense like the Giants had, where they were inconsistent. Now they turned it on, especially the pass rush. They turned it on a lot.
Yeah, when they had
for the postseason,
and even before, like the last two games and stuff. So.
Yeah, but I mean, it's tough. It's tough for any team to drive 90, 80 yards consistently when you're, I talk on Talking Giants all the time about, 10 to 12 play drives, a lot of plays in a drive. It's so tough to score consistently 7 points when you have so many drives with so many plays. You run out of plays, and the more you're on the field, the more a defense is learning about you. And also, I mean, doesn't this just perfectly kind of set up? Now, this is not, we have to give Eli a game ball. So a game ball is going to Eli Manning, but I do kind of want to talk about Justin Tuck was awesome in this game. He was awesome in both games. And I actually do want to,
for the second straight Super Bowl against New England, you could even make an argument that he was the MVP again.
Yeah.
For both Super Bowls, you can make an argument that he was right there. I still give it to Eli, obviously. And I'm sure we'll talk about for a second the greatest throw in Super Bowl history.
Yes.
Eli to Manningham on the sideline, which didn't Bill Belichick say to make him throw it to Manningham? Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
It's Pascal, Manningham. Make him throw it to them. Take Cruz and Nix out. Make him throw it to Pascal. Make him throw it to Manningham. Well, you stupid son of a bitch. Eli threw it to Mario Manningham.
Because in that game, and we won't forget about Tuck, but in that game, Manningham dropped some balls.
Mm-hmm.
Manningham dropped some balls. I'm pretty sure he even had did he have a fumble throw? I think it was two receivers had a fumble. It was Cruz that had a fumble, but there was a 12 men on the field penalty for the Patriots, and then it led directly to the Victor Cruz touchdown. And then it was either Nix or Manningham that had a fumble. But regardless, Manningham had some dropped passes, and despite him having an awesome postseason leading up to that, even he had a very important catch against San Francisco, despite that being one of his two catches. Despite having an awesome postseason, it really wasn't until the fourth quarter of Super Bowl 46, where he really, left his mark, most notably from that catch. But before we talk about the catch, because I want to make that like a moment, Justin Tuck, Steve Weatherford is pitting back, the Patriots, and then the first score of the game is the Justin Tuck safety. Now, this is Justin Tuck's Super Bowl resume. Total sacks 4. Total QB hits 5. Total tackles for loss 4. Total tackles 9. That's a very, very impressive Super Bowl resume.
That
now,
is.
I need clarification on this. Justin Tuck technically had 3 sacks this game. Do they not? I mean, and I count the Justin Tuck sack in the end zone where Tom Brady falls down. I count that as a sack. I don't know if they counted that as a sack in the box score.
Well, is it not a sack because it was a penalty? So the penalty is the play. Would they not count it as a sack?
It's not a. I'm a total idiot. It's
Right,
not a sack because he threw the ball.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
But it's.
Oh
but
yeah,
it's
he does. He throws the ball. He throws the ball.
Yeah.
Duh.
So technically, but I do count that as a sack because the sack leads.
Shit, it got us 2 points.
A safety, correct? So I say 5 sacks. So then 5 QB hits because you automatically count that as a QB hit.
Correct.
And then total tackles for loss 4, total tackles 9. So that's a very, very
damn impressive.
Yeah, very, very impressive. And he argued definitely. I would say maybe a little bit more in 46. He deserved the MVP if there was an offensive and a defensive MVP. He deserved a little bit more in 46 because of the moments at which he had the sacks. It was the first score of the game, and then the second sack that he had was in the fourth quarter. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. He was big when needed most. And I think that was really like the end of Justin Tuck because he kind of had a down year. He wasn't his productive self, I'm pretty sure, in 2011. But when it mattered most, man, that guy stepped up. Terrific giant.
So let's jump to the throw.
The throw.
I do think I put up a poll on Twitter, and yes, okay, so it has 54 votes, which isn't bad. Is the consensus amongst Giants fans that the Eli to Tyree throw in Super Bowl 42 is the greatest play in Super Bowl history, but the Eli to Manningham throw in Super Bowl 46 is the best throw in Super Bowl history?
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's
fair.
obvious,
I mean,
right?
the throw to Tyree is not a great throw at all. Actually, it was a fucking duck. But the play itself, the whole thing, getting out of the sack and then finding Tyree, absolutely. The throw to Manningham could not have been more perfect. Honestly, if it's an inch in front, an inch behind, an inch to the side, an inch to the right, it's incomplete. He literally put it right in the breadbasket where only Manningham could catch the ball. It's a ridiculous throw. There was 3 guys around him.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous throw.
Manningham couldn't drop the ball.
He couldn't drop the ball. No. And he got hit too. Like he held on to it. He got his feet in. It was an unbelievable catch and throw. The whole play. Just unbelievable. I don't think it's as big as the Tyree and all the theatrics that play in Super Bowl 42 entailed. But pure throw and catch, unbelievable.
Eli threw it from the 5-yard line. Manningham caught it at the 46-yard line. That was a 41-yard dot. 41 yards, like, air yards, right? 41-yard dot. And the crazy thing is if you watch this play, and I never noticed this, rewatching it, you go and I'm looking for certain things because I know I have to talk about it. Manningham wasn't even the first read on that play. So Manning looked at his first read for a second on the right side of the field, glances to Manningham for a split second, releases the ball. So, here's the thing. We typically think all world greatest Super Bowl throw of all time. Eli is just staring him down the whole way. He knows where he's going with the ball, and he puts the ball in with impeccable ball placement. No, it's the fact that it was literally a millisecond before Eli then decides to start his throwing motion, that he's going to step up, and he kind of had an offensive lineman in his face where he couldn't fully step up. He still pushed off his back leg, so he's able to get the velocity on it. But I think that throw personifies, and the way that Eli was able to go through his progressions, that play with the impeccable, perfect ball placement to Manningham, it personified everything that Eli did right in 2011. First of all, this game.
We do have to mention how unbelievable he was. I know we have in the past, but that 2011 season is all Eli.
Yes.
He was incredible.
Yeah, you talked about how kind of bad the team was.
Yeah, they were
to
shit.
start the
that
show.
Team was bad.
But Eli was just unreal, and he went 30 for 40 this game. I forgot about that. That's a 75% completion rate in the Super Bowl.
I think just under 300, right? Yeah,
296.
Crazy.
Yeah,
no turnovers.
No, only took 3 sacks. So with the somewhat bad offensive line,
right?
Only took 3 sacks in that game, and I think a lot of them kind of came in the first half too. I think 2 of them might have came in the first quarter.
Yeah. If only Eli would have taken regular season games and thought they were playoff games or Super Bowls, he might go down as the greatest quarterback ever. The man just probably didn't give a shit about the regular season.
No, I mean, 2011, he was just something different.
He was a man possessed.
Seeing his footwork, seeing the ball placement. Yeah. I mean, there were just so many tight-knit throws to Cruz. We talked about last week the similarity between the David Tyree touchdown catch and then the Victor Cruz touchdown catch to start off that was the first official touchdown the Giants had this game. We talked about the similarities there, but even outside of that touchdown catch and the throw and the catch to Manningham, there was a ton of specifically going to Cruz and Nix where they were double covered or blanketed, and Eli just puts the ball in a spot where they only can catch it.
Right. The zip was there. Everything was there. He was, just phenomenal.
Footwork. I mean, it's also the footwork too, because seeing Eli towards the end of his career and seeing just how, he was a lame duck, and that's why I hated when people were making excuses for Eli towards the latter end of his career, saying, "Oh, Eli was never mobile. Eli could never manipulate the pocket." Watch what he was doing in 2011. How active he was.
It's actually bullshit. No shit, he can't run like Lamar Jackson, but the man could absolutely move around. He got skittish. He had PTSD from years of incompetence on that offensive line, and at the end, he just couldn't do it. Last 3 years or so, it just wasn't in the cards. But that's neither here nor there. We don't remember Eli for those. We remember Eli for plays and moments like he brought us in the Super Bowl. And I think before the year, Eli went on the Michael Kay show, and that was the whole, I'm elite. He goes, "So do you put your name with those of Tom Brady?" He goes, yeah, I think I'm in that class. Yada yada. And he went out there and he fucking proved it all year long.
6 game-winning drives. I think 5 fourth quarter comebacks. Super Bowl. That was just during the regular season too. So that was 7 game-winning drives in total for that year.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Just remarkable.
Episode idea. Episode idea is going into the intricacies of Eli Manning's 2011 season, where there are kind of analytics out there about how good Eli was in 2011, that the people have gone back and recorded data. We can just go back and watch the games. They're all on NFL Game Pass. So we should make that an episode, whether we do it this year, whenever.
Get to it though, because he does deserve to be appreciate for that season.
That could be even like a 2-parter where we take 2 weeks to appreciate that 2011 season. Because I really do think kind of comparing it to Eli's latter end of his career, I think the fact that a lot of people made a lot of excuses for Eli towards the latter end of his career, it doesn't do him justice about what he did in years like 2011, years like 2015. I think 2009, 2008, he was really good too. 2012, I feel like he was really good. Besides, he had a couple dud years like 2013, 2014, he was really good too in the first year of Ben McAdoo's system.
Yeah, oh yeah. Big Ben.
There's remembering, that's my point, where the last couple of years where a lot of people, where the fan base was so split on, is he good? Is he not good? Does he still have it? Does he not still have it? I was so on the train of he does not have it. And it's because I try to remember just how good he was in games like this and in
Right.
years like this to remember
Right.
how good he was. It's like this, Eli doesn't deserve these excuses because he was so much better.
No, I know. And that was the crying call for all Giants fans. It was either you're making excuses or you can just see that he's just not the same guy anymore. And a beloved figure, I would think, from all Giants fans. I don't know how anybody at this stage in life can not love and appreciate what he did. But yeah, towards the end, there should be no excuses made because he clearly did it before. But he did add a new chip to his arsenal by becoming the greatest thrower of slants ever and watching Odell take the slant 80 yards. So what an adaptive guy. But speaking of Odell, I have a shithead to give out.
Oh, yes. Yes.
See what I did there? Speaking of Odell.
Yes, nice. And shit.
Shit. Fuck him. Anyway, Ahmad Bradshaw.
Ooh. Oh.
You know how much I love Ahmad Bradshaw.
Yes, but he was my favorite offensive Giant, like, growing up. And I think I called it, I put down on my notes, one of the weirdest game-winning touchdowns in Super Bowl history.
It has to be the weirdest.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want him to score. They wanted to burn that clock down and have Tynes kick a 20-yard field goal for the Super Bowl. Instead, a running back sees a lane that open. It's kind of hard to stop your momentum, I could imagine. I played D1 running back for a really big school, so I would know. But
you couldn't just play that off.
I couldn't keep playing it off. But no, it's got to be impossible to stop, and you want to score. But there was a lot of time left. Like, it's Tom Brady. It's not some schlub.
It's over a minute.
It's
and
over
they had
a
two
minute.
Timeouts.
Over a minute. Like, you celebrate it real quick, and then you're like, fuck. But that's the only reason I give him the shithead, because he didn't cost us, obviously. The defense just put the clamps on him. But it could have been, it was very nerve-wracking what he did. So
yeah,
that's why I give him my shithead. And also quick shout out to substitute teacher Chase Blackburn for the interception.
Yes, I was actually going to bring that up because at that point, I believe it was 17-15 at the end of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants put two field goals on the board after the Patriots make it 17-9 with the 11:20 left in the third quarter. They come out of the half firing. They had the touchdown at the end of the first half where I think that's when Tom Brady starts like his 16 in a row stretch, maybe.
And it's typical Patriots: score before half, get the ball, score after half. Yeah, that's what I thought. We were fucked. I really did.
Oh, so I was good. I was going to kind of ask you, like, 17-9, 11:20 left. How are you feeling? We're fucked.
This was the revenge game. We don't have the defense. They've chunked out everything. It's over. They've exposed us. We weren't really moving the ball. We weren't scoring. I thought it was a wrap, an absolute wrap. And then you look back and they never scored another point after that.
Correct. Yeah, they were done.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy. There were a couple more sacks that were thrown in there. Dave Tollefson does not get credit for a sack that he deserves, and he is still salty about to this day. 17-15, Giants respond to the Aaron Hernandez touchdown with a couple more field goals.
You missed it.
What was that?
I tried to do the kick that Tollefson did.
You missed. I did not see. Wait, all right, wait. Talk.
Do it. Oh, okay. You want me to do it? You want me to really try? Okay, I'm gonna really try. Here we go. Huh?
I thought you were going to go down. I thought you were going to go down.
Yeah, I don't have much room here, so I did my best. I don't even think you could see my leg in the camera. So.
Well, when you got up, we saw it.
All right, yeah, I'm not the most flexible person. So shout out Dave Tollefson. I love that.
That was a good Roadhouse.
Thank you. I really tried. I really tried. I love you, Dave. Great guy.
17-15 at the end of the third quarter. Then Blackburn, fourth quarter, comes up with that interception, which I think they tell the story in America's Game, or yeah, I heard some kind of story where like Chase Blackburn like never went out in coverage.
Mhm.
Never.
Yeah.
Never played man. It was always what's his face? Jaquan Williams, because he was fast. Always Jaquan Williams. That was the game plan to keep track of these tight ends. But then Blackburn comes down with the interception. How tell me your thoughts. How did you react? Tell me your thoughts.
Well, I originally went nuts because, I mean, that's a big pick. I think it was third down though, right? Correct?
Yes, it was.
So in actuality, it was pretty much like, actually, it might have been worse than a punt. Pretty much the same thing, but it's kind of just a momentum thing, that riles the team up. It's Chase Blackburn, substitute teacher of the year. So just a time of the game where you're like, okay, maybe this changes momentum a little bit. Maybe the offense gets going now. So just a great play. And in the moment, you're revved up. There's nothing like an interception. I love a good interception, especially one like that. And a hobbled Gronk too.
One final point I want to bring up.
Yeah,
one final point I want to bring up about this game in terms of a hobbled Gronk.
The last play.
You said you got scared about the Hail Mary in 07. I got more scared about the Hail Mary at the end in 2011, where
close.
I think if Gronkowski maybe is at full strength, he can kind of dive and lunge a little bit more for that ball. So then he catches it and it's a touchdown.
Yeah, the ball is very close to being in his reach. Very close. Very close. And honestly, could you imagine losing like that?
Oh,
I probably, honestly, I'm a very dramatic person and a very ridiculous, moronic lunatic. I may never have watched football again if that's how the Giants lost. I'm serious.
I don't blame you.
I don't think any team, anybody, any person, any normal, self-respecting person could ever recover from that.
Losing a Super Bowl on a Hail Mary.
Yeah. Imagine.
God.
Well, guess what?
We didn't
fucking happen. Ball touched the turf. We win. Let's move on.
All right. Super Bowl 25. I kind of feel bad that I took the majority of like complimenting Eli Manning by identifying how bad he was towards the latter end of his career. But
That's all right. You need context.
Right. I was providing the context of the recency bias versus how good he was. Okay. Super Bowl 25. Another fun game. This game had there was a lot of storylines that were happening kind of like outside the game that was important to like shape the game. So Super Bowl 25, January 27, 1991, the New York Football Giants were playing the Buffalo Bills. They won by a score of 20-19.
Yeah, they did.
In Tampa. Same place where the Super Bowl is being held this year, Tampa Stadium. I don't know if it's the same stadium. Probably not.
I'm pretty sure Tampa is also the stadium where the Ravens kicked our dicks in.
Oh, tough.
Sorry.
No, tough for us.
I'm pretty sure.
Tough for us.
Yeah, not good. Murder Ray Lewis. Murderer.
So there were a lot of things that were happening this game. One of those things that was happening was Operation Desert Storm. George H.W., George Bush's, George Bush Sr. Rest in peace. He called troops into the Gulf. He called troops into Iraq, to go fight. I'm not the biggest historian, especially about this particular moment, but I know during the halftime show, which the halftime show was supposed to be New Kids on the Block, they actually showed it after the game. Do you have a New Kids on the Block song you want to sing?
No. I was just singing one in my head, but I don't want to do it.
Please.
We're talking about war and stuff. It's just not appropriate.
Yeah, nope. War. What is a good? You sang Absolutely that on Fade the Public.
I did. War. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Okay.
Really great. Maybe by the end of the show, I'll do a little New Kids on the Block.
Sure. To celebrate 2 Super Bowl wins. New Kids on the Block, they were playing the halftime show in person, but it was live coverage of Operation Desert Storm. I know the Giants, they mentioned this in America's Game. The Giants, and specifically Otis Anderson, OJ, they dedicated this game to the troops, and it was this is probably one of the most patriotic Super Bowls. I don't exactly know. You would maybe know this a little bit better. The Super Bowl that happened after 9/11. maybe, that was probably definitely a let's come together moment, for the nation. But also this was as well in Tampa, America, football's kind of America's pastime. Like
It is. The baseball store it's football.
Yeah.
Football is America. That's the one thing that I feel like everybody can agree on is their love for football.
Yes. Also,
Whitney Houston.
I was about to say, to have the best national anthem of all time sang before this game by Whitney Houston is incredible. Every single Pop Warner game that I played in Port Reading for the Port Reading Saints, Whitney Houston sang the national anthem.
Yeah, when we have our fantasy football draft live in person, we make sure we play Whitney Houston's rendition of the national anthem for the Super Bowl. So brings a tear to your eye.
Yeah, a lot of historic ramifications that are happening outside of this game, outside of the game itself, that are ultimately like connected to this game. So Giants won. Norwood, wide right, no good.
By the way, that's my game ball. I'm just getting that out of the way.
Cool. Norwood, right?
Yeah, Scott Norwood. He won the Super Bowl for us.
I love that. So
47-yarder, I believe.
Yes, 47 yards.
Stupid bitch.
This is actually a very useful stat. We talked about the broadcasts of like the 80s and the 90s, John Madden, Pat Summerall, stuff like that. I don't know who was on the call this game. I didn't watch the full game, so I don't know who was on the call. You can look that up really quick while I say this. But a stat that they include in the broadcasts, and they didn't include a lot of stats, but I feel like the stats that they did include, they were kind of helpful and they were kind of useful. They included that Norwood.
Oh!
What? Who?
Sorry.
Who was it?
Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Deerdorf.
Oh, what a crew.
That's a great crew.
Yeah.
Then you had Lynn Swan on the sideline.
Oh, speaking of Al Michaels, we forgot to talk about the line. The line was -6.5. So Al Michaels definitely probably was heavy betting on the Bills, and I'm sure he was betting the under. Like, the under, tough. The over-under was 40.
Oh, he was 39.
39.
Wow,
That's
he
tough.
was definitely on the over.
On the over. Al Michaels doesn't bet no.
He doesn't bet unders. He doesn't bet unders.
But the thing about Norwood, the stat that they showed on the broadcast, Norwood was 1 for 5 on field goals of 40+ yards on grass. Like, very specific. Like,
right
on grass, 40+ yards, which I'm like, that's helpful. That's a very helpful stat because it
47
came to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. My dad always tells me that him and my mom did not watch the kick. They waited for everybody's reaction. They were at a Super Bowl party, and they went up the stairs. So they're up the stairs, and the TV's in front, so they're behind it. And then
they couldn't do it.
They couldn't do it. Honestly, I don't even know if I could. And they waited for everybody's reaction, and lo and behold, that's how they knew that we won the Super Bowl. So pretty great, I would say. I don't know if I would survive that though. I don't think I could handle that.
Like, you would have died. You would have died on the spot.
Yeah. Like, if it's a kick that's gonna take it to overtime, it's a little different. This is life or death, though.
Yeah,
literally life or death. Well, I'm glad I didn't have to witness it. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that. I would have fucking done anything to witness it, but you get my drift.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and it's crazy that you look at what the Bills did. The Bills, before this game and their 2 playoff games, scored 44 points and 51 points.
Crazy.
They had Thurman Thomas, a Hall of Fame running back.
Very good player.
Kelly, Hall of Fame quarterback. And is Reed in the Hall of Fame?
Andre Reed, yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame. So 3 Hall of Fame players on offense. And it's funny how, we'll talk about like the game plan and the approach that the Giants had now on defense. It's funny how I got into a debate with Carl Banks about
do it, baby.
The value of stopping the run versus stopping explosive plays in the pass game, or just stopping the pass in general. And then we got into that whole argument. We got into that whole debate. And then I go and I watch America's Game 1990, 1991. And guess who is the one who is being interviewed? Go ahead.
I want to guess. Go ahead, finish. I want to be the one to guess though. So finish.
Guess who is the one talking about the game plan that the unconventional game plan that Bill Belichick had to stop the high-powered Bills offense?
Callbacks.
Correct.
Ah! What a great guess by me. And what
So-
was that game plan, Justin?
Basically, we are going to stop the pass at the expense of the run.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
and it even makes sense thinking about what the Giants had offensively too. You know, their game plan offensively, and I think, you know, Bill Parcells says this. I want to see if I can get it right here. Bill Parcells, it was basically run with power. That was the quote that he was saying on the sideline. And at the time, the Giants offense broke the total time of possession in Super Bowl history. That still might stand today, by the way. I believe their total time of possession was
40 minutes and 33 seconds.
Yeah.
Compared to Buffalo's 19 minutes and 27 seconds.
Which is insane because
it's lunacy.
You know, you watch some of the highlights and you watch what this is you watch the highlights and you even look at the total yards at the end of the game. The Bills had 371 total yards of offense. The Giants had 386. But the way that the Giants were able to stop the Bills in terms of what their bread and butter is, which is big plays, which is chunk plays. I mean, you don't score 44 points and 51 points in the previous 2 weeks in the playoffs by Thurman Thomas just grounding and pounding all day. No, you had Jim Kelly. You had Jim Kelly and you had Hall of Fame wide receivers.
Good ball
you had
player.
You had a Hall of Fame offense. No, the whole plan was to limit yards after catch and overall limit those explosive plays, which I think Andre Reed said after that game. He said, I have never been hit as hard as I was hit in this game, because that was the game plan of playing back, letting Thurman Thomas run all over, run rampant, because it was O.J. Anderson that was told if Norwood misses the field goal, he's going to win MVP. And then if Norwood hits the field goal, Thurman Thomas was going to win MVP.
Yeah. So what you're saying is running back matter.
The game, and this is why I look this is why I like looking back at certain games and the way the game was played, because there was a time where absolutely running backs. I'm not saying they don't matter now, but there was absolutely a time period where they did matter.
And the better they were, the better your offense probably was.
Correct.
So, I think this game is just truly a testament to how unbelievably coached the Giants were.
Yeah.
Because we've spent this whole time and we haven't even mentioned that the Giants weren't playing with their starting quarterback. No. Phil Simms was out. Jeff Hostetler was backup quarterback. I'm pretty sure the next year he was a real estate agent. I don't even know. Like, he was not a world beater quarterback. At least I don't think so. By checking the numbers and
during the regular season, save that thought. During the regular season, I looked back, and because there was at some point this year in the Giants, 2020 Giants, there was some point where there was some doubt of whether Daniel Jones was going to get over 10 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
So I needed to look and see, for quarterbacks that started at least 10 games in an NFL season, was there ever a Giants quarterback that did not get to 10 touchdown passes? And that was Jeff Hostetler.
No, of course.
During the 1990 season, he had 9 touchdown passes.
Yeah. That sounds about right. And actually, this is a really cool shirt, Daniel Jones and the Giants thing. Anyway, hate Daniel Jones, but I don't hate him. I just want him to improve and be really good. Anyway, Jeff Hostetler, yes, great mustache, not a great quarterback. Let's be honest. Like 20 points, that's whatever. But
he did have a good game, though.
He did. I was actually just about to say 20 and 32 for 222 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions, and no turnovers is pretty good. Like, with the defense you had and the way the game was played, and Otis Anderson going over 100 yards, that was more than enough. So,
and there was a ton of third downs that they faced all day. Just 3rd and 11s, 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 8s. And that, I know, Otis Anderson had a really great day. He deserves that MVP. But the Giants don't break the time of possession record, and especially in the second half, they don't have 2 drives that spanned like 17 minutes. They don't have those 2 long drives that basically sealed them the game without Hostetler passing on third down, and then also my game ball goes to Mark Ingram.
No.
Yeah, for one of the grittiest and most forgotten, but also best plays in franchise history. On that 3rd and 13, he has 3 broken tackles, and then that 4th guy that touches him winds up bringing him down, but he lunges for the first down marker. It was the 3rd and 13,
Right.
and he picks up the first down, and it keeps that long sustaining drive open, and it either results in a field goal or a touchdown that,
but it resulted in points.
Yes, that
And
drive
every
did.
point was clearly of the essence. So that is a great find on your end in Mark Ingram. So God bless his soul. That's what I have to say about that. It's a great game ball, honestly.
Yes. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker, had a touchdown too of this game, which he's just a personal favorite because he signs everything. He's such a really nice guy. I have his email. We should try to get him on the show.
Yeah, that would be really cool. OJ is a great guy too. Not Simpson. He's a murderer.
I'm enjoying calling him OJ without feeling guilty.
Yeah, no, I know. I wanted to.
Such a cool nickname.
It's a great nickname for a guy. And I also, the name Otis is awesome too. But he's a frequent at a restaurant, or he's a regular at a restaurant. Me and my dad were sitting at the bar before Kobe once, and a guy was sitting next to us. He was wearing a hat, and I look, and I go to my dad. I'm like, is that OJ Anderson? My dad's like, my dad looks. Yo, my dad's a dope. He looks. He goes, that ain't OJ Anderson. I was like, all right, whatever, fine. So, of course, I naturally Google what OJ Anderson looks like. And I'm like, Dad, it's fucking OJ Anderson. He's sitting right there at the end of the bar. So my dad, the dope that he is, love him to death, great guy, goes up to him. I'm like, oh, fuck me. Goes up to me, he goes, hey, my son over here thinks you were a former football player for the Giants. And he goes, I was. And my dad goes, OJ Anderson? No shit. And he's like, it's very nice to meet you, sir. And he goes up to me. He's like, it's very nice to meet you. And he signed, all I had was like one of those napkins, you get it at the town restaurant.
Yes.
On that. Actually, Justin, it's the place that we go to for when you come up here.
No way.
Yes. He's good
Great
friends
place.
with the owner. Yes. He's great. He's great friends with the owner. So that was when I met OJ Anderson. Very nice guy.
Snacks were just about done.
Yes, we are. I would have hated myself if I didn't tell my OJ story.
My shithead is you once again.
What?
My shithead is you. Do you want to sing some what do you call it?
No, now I don't.
What's the band called? I forgot.
New Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block.
No, I don't want to sing it.
All right.
You made me really upset. Why am I a shithead? What did I do?
I think that's just a tradition. Whenever we talk about a game or multiple games in an episode and there's not a clear shithead, I always just give it to you.
All right, that's fine. I don't mind. I'm a grown up.
You're a big boy.
Yeah, I'm a big boy. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. I don't care. It's fucking rude, but whatever.
It's all right.
Just want to thank everybody for watching as usual. You're great people, unlike my co-host who's a scumbag. Yeah, that's you.
Mm-hmm.
Scumbag. So please please subscribe, comment again if you want. It's fine. But I will speak for myself, not Justin, because he's a miserable, terrible person and his ego is too big to love anybody but himself.
True.
I love you all. Thank you for watching.
This is very true. Next week, odds are we're probably going to be pushed to a new release time.
Mm-hmm.
6 p.m. the premiere. So then 7 p.m. it will be available to, watch at any point of the show. But I like utilizing the premiere feature. If you enjoy what we're doing, come hang out and watch the premiere with us. We're going to push it more to the evening so more people can watch it. So we're not doing it at 8 a.m. like lunatics. So we will see you next week. On Monday morning. We will see you next week. We will see you next Monday evening. We're going to have some different kinds of episodes coming out. We have Valentine's Day approaching. We're going to start reading some books, and honestly, when we were reading If These Walls Could Talk during the summer, and we were reading books when we were kind of talking about giant stories, that was my most favorite part about the podcast rather than talking about games. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever Snack said. He will murder you if you don't listen to him. Keep on bleeding blue. Peace. We'll see you next week.